Tamakti, Tamakti, Tamakti. Just imagine that chant for a second. Try to picture it echoing, rolling like absolute thunder through these massive, suffocating underground caverns of a dark dwarf city. Just a single name, roared by thousands of voices in the pitch black. Welcome back, everyone. I am so thrilled to have you here for another explainer. Today, we're breaking down an absolute masterclass in dual narrative storytelling from the 42nd entry of the Chronicles of the Gnoll's Bane. This chapter is a brilliant puzzle, and to understand why that chanting I just read is so profoundly chilling, we have to unravel a mystery that bridges half a millennium. The Shadows of Tamakti John, a Chronicles of Gnoll's Bane explainer. So, what makes this specific entry so fascinating is how it totally splits our attention. It demands that we look backward to understand what is happening right in front of us. For anyone who appreciates incredible world building, this is exactly how you masterfully connect deep character history to immediate life-or-death stakes. We're going to explore two very different timelines today, a deeply personal history of betrayal and honor, and a present-day infiltration that just quickly spirals into absolute chaos. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Forged in Discipline, Talenor's Defining Past. To really grasp the present danger, we actually have to leave it entirely behind for a moment. We need to drop way back into the bright, sunlit elven training yards of Thracia. Here, we see exactly who Talenor is at his core. His motto, discipline over all. This was the very first day Talenor ever held a practice blade. He was sparring against another eager young elf, and Talenor wins the bout. But instead of gloating, instead of offering a boast, which you might expect, he offers his fallen opponent a hand up and delivers that line. It's a small, quiet moment, but the young elf takes his hand, smiles, and actually points out a flaw in Talenor's swing. From this single gesture of mutual respect, a centuries-long friendship is forged, based entirely on honor. From that single gesture, we fast forward through their shared history. From that first practice blade, through literally centuries of shared military service beneath the banners of Thracia, we land firmly at a period 550 years after the calamity. Here, these two incredibly seasoned soldiers are deployed to put down the Duergar rebellion, which was a violent uprising of orcs and goblins trying to claim surface lands. The sheer weight of time these two elves have fought side by side, it really cannot be overstated. They are brothers in arms. Following a decisive and bloody battle against the rebellion, Talenor and his friend receive new orders. Objective 1, confirm the death of the rebel leader, Dick Bokar. Talenor handles this pretty efficiently. He goes to the battlefield, and interestingly, the remaining orcs and goblins just let him inspect the body without a fight. With that done, he moves on to Objective 2, investigate a nearby farmhouse rumored to be sheltering wounded soldiers. He walks in completely expecting hostile enemies. But what he actually walks into shatters his worldview. We suddenly face this stark collision between two completely opposed moral frameworks. On one side, we have the farmer's compassion. Inside this farmhouse, wounded elven soldiers are lying right next to wounded orcs and goblins. And the farmers, they are treating all of them equally, without an ounce of prejudice. On the other side, we have the arrival of an elven general. And the general's wrath is absolute. He rides up, sees green things breathing, and immediately orders the execution of all the wounded orcs and goblins, plus the farmer and his entire family for helping them. This is the crucial takeaway here. The farmers weren't military, they were civilians, operating on a pure, fundamental belief. They believed that the deity Palor allowed these historically dark races to live for a reason. Every single creature carries the potential to find the light. It's a profound philosophical stance to take right in the middle of a brutal war. And Talenor, a soldier of strict discipline, recognizes the absolute truth in it. So what does Talenor do when faced with the general's murderous orders? He steps in. He actively defends the farmers and their wounded charges. He actually disarms his own superior officer in a brief clash, but is ultimately beaten down by the general's fists. He's arrested and thrown into a prison cell for 2 days. Sitting in that dark cell, it hits him. The shiny, honorable veneer of his home city, Thracia, it's a total lie. It's rotting from the inside out. Which brings us to a breaking point. Talenor decides he has to defect. And because he is, above all else, a soldier of discipline, he doesn't just run, he plans. Step 1, he spends months tracking the intricate guard rotations. Step 2, he maps the blind spots in the patrol routes. Step 3, he identifies the absolute safest gate to slip out of the city undetected. It is a meticulous, flawless escape plan. Up until he reaches the gate.
Right at the threshold of freedom, a hand grabs his cloak. It's his old friend from the training yards, but his friend isn't there to stop him. Actually, he completely understands why Talinor is leaving. However, his friend chooses to stay. He asks this incredibly powerful question: if all the good people leave, who will remain to fight for those who need them? And then, as they part ways forever, he leaves Talinor with this deeply cryptic farewell. Know this: you will always have a friend in Tamakti June.
Section 2. Shadows of Irondale, the present danger. The memory fades out, and we are suddenly thrust right back into the terrifying underground duergar city of Irondale. As the party sneaks through the shadows, the source material hands us this wonderfully eerie piece of character lore. We learn about their reptilian companion, Ord. Now, Ord is always absent-mindedly humming a tune, but it turns out this isn't just some random song. Before Ord was even born, like while he was still inside his egg, he experienced visions. A great, shining, winged creature he calls a starscale sang to him through the darkness. The melody he hums today is the exact same haunting tune from his prenatal visions. It's such a beautiful yet intensely unsettling detail that just adds immense atmosphere to their creeping descent into the city.
And they really need to creep carefully because they are completely surrounded. Massive cages are rumbling across the stone, transporting absolute terrors. We're talking burrow maws, ember claws, stonehide trolls, crystal-skinned ogres. These are devastating, monstrous creatures, all being methodically carted toward a laboratory district near the gate. The duergar aren't just building a military force, they are actively weaponizing the deep Earth's absolute worst horrors.
Just as they're taking all of this in, their magical sending stones crackle to life. The Hammer-Deep dwarves, who are currently hiding out in the city's archives, have made a massive discovery. They found a concealed, secret tunnel system running directly beneath the archives that connects to other highly secure sections of the city. Realizing this is absolutely their best way to bypass the deadly streets above, the party immediately changes course and heads underground.
Section 3. Unleashing the Menagerie. The climax.
The party navigates these cramped tunnels, eventually peering through a hidden opening into a sprawling, nightmarish laboratory. And the sheer scale of the threat is just overwhelming. Rows upon rows of cages stretch out endlessly into the dark, restless burrow maws shifting the dirt, prowling ember claws pacing with eyes like hot coals, silent flesh golems standing perfectly, menacingly still. This is an entire army of confined beasts just waiting to be unleashed.
And that is when Thane makes a decision that changes absolutely everything. Faced with these impossible odds, Thane decides to fight fire with fire. Or, well, actually, chaos with chaos. Drawing his flaming blade, he strikes out and severs the heavy lock on one of the massive burrow maw enclosures. In a split second, 5 enormous earth-digging beasts are free. The lead creature hesitates for only a moment before plunging straight into the stone floor, completely disappearing beneath the city, its pack right behind it. Of course, the noise immediately attracts a squad of investigating duergar guards. They rush into the menagerie, demanding answers. But they never get them. The solid ground beneath the guards' feet violently erupts. In a total frenzy of massive teeth and razor-sharp claws, the freed burrow maws burst upward, grab the screaming guards, and violently drag them down into the stone below. The screaming stops. The crunching of stone ceases. For just a fleeting, agonizing second, absolute, dead silence falls over the sprawling underground laboratory. But what followed the silence? The gongs, deep, bone-rattling, thunderous sounds completely shatter the quiet, echoing through every single tunnel and chamber of the entire cavern city. The duergar alarm has been tripped. And this isn't just some standard siren, you guys. It is a full-blown call to arms that wakes the entire sleeping city of Irondale. And the gongs, they bring company. Over the ringing of the alarms, a new, terrifying noise joins the cacophony. The leathery beating of enormous wings. A genuine chill runs through the party as they look up and see dozens of croakers, hideous, flying monstrosities descending from the high ceiling over the northern gate. The entire city is now mobilized, heavily armed, and swarming the area. And as these winged horrors blot out whatever dim light remains, the thousands of assembled duergar erupt into a deafening, unified chant that rolls like a physical wave through Irondale. Tamakti! 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 It is the exact same name spoken by Talenor's honorable elven friend 550 years ago in a sunlit city, now being roared by an army of dark dwarves in the depths of the earth. How did the name of a righteous elven soldier become the battle cry of an evil underground empire? Why on earth are they cheering for him? It's a cliffhanger that absolutely demands answers. But for those answers, you're going to have to join me next time. Stay curious, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.